Give it a waste, didn't he?
What's going on, guys? It's Adam P and welcome back to more Newcastle United transfer news. This has continued on from yesterday, so the start of this video now is a continuation from my vlog yesterday about going behind the scenes with Alexander Isak at the training ground. He left the training ground around 3 hours after he entered it, and just to let you know, Eddie Howe left about an hour before Alexander Isak. So Howe left before the player did. Eddie Howe left, Jason Tyndall left, all the players were out. Most of the staff members are gone. Isak one of the last remaining people out of the training ground, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's doing his individual bits of training as he has been doing while the manager's been away. I don't know what's going on, but I just wanted to inform you on the time. So Eddie Howe did actually leave before Alexander Isak did. He was not the last individual out the boom, and Howe normally is as well. So I want to start the video off by addressing that because, of course, across my social media page, it's got a lot to get through. Try my best for the timings, but Isak was around 3 hours inside the training ground, which has been just about right when he has been coming in by himself during the week before the team returned from the Asia tour. So it seems the normal time for him to be in there. Surely he's had to talk to Eddie Howe. Surely he's had to talk to the manager. I don't know what will happen next, but we haven't got any strikers in, so we have to assume Isak's going nowhere, at least for now. But we'll deal with that problem down the line. I just want to start the video off by addressing the situation at the training ground. Just got back inside the house. Starting off with breaking transfer news, Benjamin Sesko has officially chosen to join Manchester United. He will sign for €76 million, which means RB Leipzig has actually sought the player for less money than what Newcastle United has put down. We have put down €80 million and they've accepted a lower bid from a different football club to sell him because the player did not want to join Newcastle United. And that's the first concern with this transfer, because we've been spending a good week trying to bring him in, but it's the feeling now is that we felt like we've been strung along. The player has never wanted to join Newcastle United. He's used Newcastle to get himself the Manchester United move. He's used Newcastle to force Manchester United to come in quickly to get this player done, and that is one of our key transfer targets gone. That was a key Isak replacement, and that was a key player we were looking to bring in to be number one at Newcastle, to be able to take this club forward, and we have missed out on Benjamin Sesko. Now, I've been extremely critical towards the ownership, but to be fair, this is one of the only transfers this window where I can't blame the ownership, because we've actually put more money down than Manchester United and a lower bid's been accepted. It's truly an astonishing transfer window. It continues to be ridiculous, and it continues just to be everyone against Newcastle. It's the mindset and the ideology that it's everyone in the world against Newcastle United. Leipzig's went against Newcastle. Sesko's went against Newcastle. Manchester United has went against Newcastle. €80 million thrown down, record transfer bid. It was not enough to secure Benjamin Sesko. And my real concern is that Nicholas Jackson has been heavily linked to Newcastle United. I'm actually concerned by the amount of reporters and journalists that have mentioned the possibility of Newcastle wanting Jackson. And my way of looking at this now, Ekitike is gone, Sesko is gone, and Bruno's gone, Cunha is gone, Delap's gone. So when you look at Jackson, when you look at any striker we're looking to bring in now, they're going to be far down the transfer list. You're talking option 7, 8, far down Eddie Howe's transfer list, and especially when you're talking £80 million to bring in Nicholas Jackson. Nowhere. I can't defend £80 million on this guy, regardless of what you think about his football ability and regardless of what you think about him coming to Newcastle United. Never ever for £80 million. I don't see it at all. Not to mention that is also £80 million going to Chelsea, a team that has already got hundreds of millions of pounds spent on players. We can't allow these to have even more money to spend on players. Jackson, surely not. I can't defend any potential side of Nicholas Jackson. I don't think we should go for him. I don't think we should pump that kind of money down on him. And on top of that, Nicholas Jackson would miss his first game for Newcastle United because he was sent off against Newcastle last season. So we're trying to buy a player who can't even play for us because he got suspended against Newcastle. So he still has that suspension to fill up. I cannot believe this transfer window. What is going on here? Yesterday at the training ground, Alexander Isak is being excluded from having ice cream, ice lollies and soft drinks. Him and his family aren't allowed to go to the training ground because Eddie Howe has kept them separate. And we've got Mr. Bloody Whippy in the training ground. He's not even getting ice cream. The ice cream van's in there and we've excluded the player from doing that. I just cannot believe what we're seeing. It's almost like I'm just writing a story and we're just making stuff up. I swear down, everything we're talking about here has honestly happened within the last 24 hours. It's truly such a baffling. And if it wasn't for the fact that it's our future and what we're going to do this season, I would have said it's hilarious, but it's just not, because we have Champions League football. The draw is this month, and Mr. Whippy stopping Isak getting ice cream. Benjamin Sesko is signing for less money, and Nicholas Jackson can't even play our first game because he's got a suspension because he's elbowed one of Newcastle United's players. What is going on? I swear down, what is going on?
The biggest problem Newcastle have got about Newcastle is you've got to live in Newcastle. You're trying to compete against London-based clubs, Manchester-based clubs, all three cities, the three main cities in the fucking... No one's slagging Newcastle.
Who has put 50 pence into Humpty Dumpty? Why is he bringing up Newcastle as a city? Don't we all say politics don't belong in football? And I'm willing to bet he has also stated that politics don't deserve to be anywhere amongst football. And yet he's decided to pinpoint Newcastle as a city away from football, saying it's an asshole to live in, the working class city, saying that players don't want to go there. What a load of garbage this is. Stop with it. I see a lot of Southern Premier League fans always bring up Newcastle as being a horrible place to live in. Have you ever stayed in Newcastle before? Have you ever been to Newcastle? I'm willing to bet you probably haven't been to Newcastle away as a Manchester United fan, so let's just stop with that crap. I mean, why? What's the point? Seriously, what is the point? I'm sick of these Manchester United fans, and it's not all the Manchester United fans. I'm willing to bet in real life a lot of them aren't too bad, but on social media, especially these influencers and people that just want to, of course, mouth off Newcastle for interactions and views. What is the point? Seriously, what is the point? You just make yourself look like a massive arsehole. And I mean, how bitter do you come across as well? Have you got anything to be happy about in life? You just seem to be the most bitter person I've ever seen. Why are you trash talking Newcastle as a city? Just stop with it. And as for a different transfer link Newcastle has been referenced to yesterday, John McGinn from Aston Villa. Now, this was a strange transfer link in my opinion, because I've always stated that Aston Villa is our biggest competitive rival. And what I mean by that, if Newcastle sells to Villa or Villa sells to Newcastle, that's quite a damaging sale for that club to make, because we are the reason Aston Villa did not make it into the Champions League. And Aston Villa is also the reason why Newcastle United almost missed out in the Champions League, because a win at Old Trafford would have kicked us out. So when you look at the two teams, why would we sell to them and why would they sell to us? And John McGinn is a player I do actually like. I do like him as a player, but I just don't understand why Aston Villa would do it. And now Keith Downey has stated there's been a bid from Everton to sign McGinn. Villa has rejected it, and Villa have also stated that he's not for sale at any cost. And yeah, hopefully Newcastle could just focus on our players, because this was one I just never felt like Newcastle had any chance to sign. I felt it was such a weird one. Martin de Braga has officially left the club. He signed for Burnley. 12 months left in his contract. I don't know what the fee is, but you are at least getting some money for him. I was a betting man. I would say between £1 to £2 million, but I don't know that. In terms of our news, Craig Hope has spoken this morning and said that Isak has been unhappy at Newcastle for a year now. Of course, he had a £120 million bid from Chelsea last summer. One bid, got rejected and never came back in. Now, of course, since that, been fizzling on the background. And when you look at Isak's performances, while he's had a very good season last year, about 30% of the games he played in, he's dropped stinkers. He either has a class game where he drops his stinker, but the Isak stinker game is kind of just him walking around, not involved, not really showing up. And now that you know that he wants to leave the football club, it kind of almost shows his performances that he's just not giving 100%. And I think now, with the evidence there to suggest that, I think his performances speak volumes. I think they do. I think when Isak is on it, best striker on the world, I think he is up there as you're talking the best of the best. But when he's not asked, or when he doesn't want to give 100%, his whole performance is just poor, not giving it his all. And when you look at the potential possibility of keeping him this summer, and now that he's even more unhappy, it concerns me a lot. And I wish I've got good news to tell you. I would love nothing more to make a YouTube video now and give you some good news. Listen, guys, I'm a Newcastle United fan. I love this football club. I go to every match and I spend a ridiculous amount of money on watching us play. I would love nothing more than to see us prepare for the Champions League, to see us with 6 or 7 signs in there, just looking as good as we possibly can do. But it's just not the case. It's just not the case. And the news just continues to get worse. I just never seen anything like it. We are such a mess behind the scenes. It's astonishing. I'm sure once the transfer window ends, we're going to hear more answers. But I'm extremely critical towards the public investment fund because we could have had preparation done going into this window. We knew Darren Hughes was going to leave this summer. Of course, unfortunately, he is seriously ill. So we knew he was going to go out. Paul Mitchell, we announced in May, was also going to leave Newcastle United. And yet, no director of football, no CEO, no one's came in. We've had nobody ready to come in. And that puzzles me because both of these staff members, we knew before the end of the season they were going to leave. So Newcastle could have had staff members in place to come in for the entire transfer window, and we decided not to do that. And that one just confuses me quite a lot because we are going to hire these people. It's not like Eddie Howe, Andy Howe, Steve Nixon are going to have their roles and then nobody's going to come in after this transfer window. People are going to fill these roles. So why have the roles not been filled in before this transfer window? And I wish that was the only concern because I wouldn't be making a YouTube video now talking about it, but we just know there are so many problems behind the scene. But it's just so many things where when you take the time to look into it and when you take the time to look at every possible solution and problem we have this summer, I just don't get some of them. I just don't get how some of them haven't been solved. But walking away from this video, we're going to find out after the Salah Cup weekend who we're going to go for next, especially that striker role. It's going to be someone far down the list, so far down the list, in fact, where it's just going to be an option that Newcastle deep down don't want. It'll be an option that Newcastle are just desperately trying to look for, and it's just been truly an all-time shocker. This window has been horrific. It continues to get worse, and I've never seen anything like it. I wish I'd make a more positive video. I wish I'd come out now and give you all the good news and tell you we're going to get some players in. It just doesn't look that way at the minute. Wissa seems to be the closest player, but nothing's progressed on him. Again, that's a player Newcastle seems keen on. He's got that strike going on down at Brentford, so he looks like a player that is going to be going out at some point. But again, Newcastle's been unable to get these deals sorted. And this Sesko stuff's deflating. It's so deflating, and you walk away from Newcastle United window, and I've even got fans and subscribers messaging me in social media, like outright telling me that they're depressed and they're going, "Oh, Adam, I've never seen a transfer window like this. I'm feeling quite down. I'm feeling quite low." And I mean, I've got to say the obvious point. It is football. Like, get outside, enjoy yourself, be happy. You've seen Newcastle United win something last season. I think, especially in our lifetimes, we wanted to see Newcastle do something. No matter what happens, we've done it. We've actually won something, and we're in the Champions League. Now, if it's a couple of bad years, it's a couple of bad years, but we will get better. The good times will come around, and that day will be someday. And especially compared to the Mike Ashley days, we are still so far ahead of that. And I know I don't want to compare us to the Mike Ashley times because it's almost a cliche at this point. But you've got to look at how Newcastle United has been over the last few years. We're potentially losing Isak, yes, but we've still got a good squad there. We still should be doing well enough. But, of course, it's been horrific behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happened. But since Amanda and Murder have left, it has went to crap. I've never seen two people leaving this football club and then everything to go so badly wrong. What has Manda and Murder done behind the scenes that's been so critical to our success? I've never seen anything like what have they been doing? Because we haven't been able to fill that gap. And I'm almost at that point now. I want to beg and I want to plead that we can get them back because they've just been able to do wonders behind the scenes. But yeah, there's just no communication with the public investment fund. There's no middleman or middlewoman there that's there to help Newcastle. And it's just so disconnected. And that's the best way of describing it. It's disconnected. There's no fluid link and there's just nothing to really pinpoint the two together. I'm just concerned there's a lack of noise from the public investment fund, and it speaks volumes in the transfer market because Newcastle has been so slow and so poor in the transfer market. And I know you can look at different factors as well, but it's just been a shocker. It just has. But yeah, I'm going to finish this video off for now because I know you guys are going to be sick of hearing me just moaning and banging on, but I wish I could do something else. It's just how things have been, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry, but we'll keep cracking on. We're going to get some players signed. Stick with us. Bear with us. But let me know your opinions down below. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you all in the next one.